Okay guys, we're talking protein, the king of the macronutrients. Let's do it. Hi guys, Dr. Bobby Striker here with Flow Physique Factory. Clinic is in session. Today we're talking all about protein. Protein is one of the main macronutrients in our diets. You can kind of broadly categorize the foods that we eat into carbs, fats, and proteins. So carbs are things like starches, bread, rice, potatoes, things made from flour. Then you've got fats like oils and animal products. And then you've got proteins, which are the fundamental, really vital elements that we need to produce cells in our bodies, especially muscle cells. And it's especially important for anyone who's trying to get into shape and maybe lose a few pounds that you keep your protein intake high. And why is that? Well, first of all, there's this thing called the thermic effect of food. Have you heard of that? We've mentioned it before in our videos. You might want to check out our previous videos. It's something very useful. Now, basically, when we eat foods, how do we get the calories, the energy from, say, a piece of chicken or a piece of fish or meat or a piece of bread? How do we get the energy out of that into our body so that our cells can use it? Well, it has to be digested. Now, the interesting thing is that proteins are harder to digest, so much so that they actually require a certain amount of calories to just digest it, break it down, so that we can actually access the energy that's stored in those foods. So this is called the thermic effect of food. We actually increase our metabolism more when we eat certain foods, and it's the highest when we consume proteins. So that's the thermic effect of food. So when we eat proteins, the energy required just to break those foods down is significant. And if you're trying to create a calorie deficit, so you're in a slightly low calorie intake to help you lose weight, having a diet high in protein because of the high thermic effect might actually help you in terms of your weight loss goals. And the other thing is that protein is very filling. It's satiating. So of course that's great. If you're eating lots of protein, it makes you feel full for longer, and that's going to help you on your weight loss journey. Another important thing with protein, when you lose weight, the worry is you're not going to just lose fat. Of course, when we lose weight, we want to just lose fat. We don't want to lose everything else. We want to get rid of that stubborn belly fat or thigh fat or wherever it is. But the problem is, it's not so simple. When we lose weight, often you lose a significant amount of muscle as well. And if you lose muscle, you're actually going to harm your metabolism. Your metabolic rate drops. So you kind of burn calories less efficiently, which makes it easier for you to put on weight. So how do you stop that? Well, you need to maintain your muscle mass. And that's why if you have a diet high in protein, that can to an extent help to prevent muscle loss as you lose weight. So again, a very important reason to keep your protein intake high. If you lose a lot of weight and you don't keep your protein intake high, so you're losing fat as well as muscle, and you lose a lot of muscle, you might end up being skinny fat. So you're losing weight, but because you've lost muscle too, you end up kind of a smaller, lighter, but still possibly flabby kind of look, and you might not feel too good about yourself. So to prevent that, you got to exercise and keep your protein intake high. Okay. Now, how much protein? And people discuss this a lot. The general term, the consensus, is that you should aim for about 2 grams per kilogram of ideal body weight. Now, you have to think about the term there, ideal body weight. If you are significantly overweight, say you weigh like 150 kilograms, no one's asking you to eat 300 grams of protein. No, that's not correct. You have to look at it in terms of ideal body weight. So look at the charts, maybe you get out a BMI calculator and then estimate what might be a healthy weight for your kind of size, for your height and age and all of that. And use that as a rough idea, on terms of what kind of protein intake you should be going for. And the other thing is, be honest with yourself. Look in the mirror and estimate your body fat percentage. Now, you can actually Google it, body fat percentage for men and women, and you will find images of men and women of different sizes, just the bodies, and you can look at those images and say, okay, my body looks a little bit like that, so maybe I'm around 20 or 30% body fat. And you can use that to kind of guide you in terms of what your ideal body weight might be. Most of the research that's been done when they say, okay, go for 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight if you want to put on a bit of muscle, is generally research that's done in people who have a body fat in the range of about 15 to 20% body fat. So if you look at these pictures and you think, whoa, actually my body fat's like 30 or 50% body fat, maybe I'm significantly overweight or obese, don't go for that same exact ratio, because if you start consuming 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, you might be consuming extreme high quantities of protein, which is going to be very difficult for you to meet, and you probably don't really need to. So look at your ideal body weight, then use that as an indication for how much protein you should be consuming. So 2 grams per kilogram of ideal body weight. Now, some people are worried about how protein might harm your kidneys. Well, actually, it doesn't. Okay, there's very clear research that if you have healthy kidney function, consuming high quantities of protein does not harm your kidneys. If you do not have healthy kidneys, if you've got proteinuria, protein leaking out of your kidneys into the urine because your kidneys are already weak or there's already issues with your kidney function, then you should probably discuss with your doctor before embarking on a high protein diet. Okay, now let's go through some other myths and ideas about consuming protein. Some people say, well, actually there's a limit to how much protein you can consume at one sitting. You can't absorb more than 30 grams of protein per meal. Actually, that's not true either. There's even evidence to suggest that you can consume 40, 50, 60 grams of protein per meal or more, and you can still access and oxidize a lot of that. So a lot of that is still readily available and useful for the body. So that's some stuff to keep in mind. The other thing to keep in mind is that unlike carbs and fats, where your body can store them quite easily, like carbs, you can store as glycogen. You have glycogen, kind of sugar stores in your muscles and your liver, and excess can be converted to fats. And fats, of course, you can store directly as fats. Protein you can't actually store very well. So that's why it's a good suggestion to space out your meals. Have about 3 to 4 high protein meals per day. Okay, so at least 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal, and spread them out. And if you're doing something like intermittent fasting, or you're starving yourself for whatever reason, and you're going to the gym and training, your body's kind of there thinking, I need those building blocks. You've put a lot of strain on me to repair your muscle. Where are those protein? Where's the protein that I need to repair your muscle tissue? And if you deprive yourself of that, you're kind of losing those opportunities to kind of stimulate muscle protein synthesis. So it's a good idea to have frequent regular meals throughout the day, 3 to 4 meals, and have them each quite high in terms of protein. Yeah, at least 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal. That's a good starting point. And some people talk about an anabolic window. What's that? Well, some people think straight away after you've had your workout, you should quickly gorge yourself on a protein shake to kind of get that muscle repair thing going, get your body recovering and the muscles growing. Well, actually, that's not true. If you've had several protein-rich meals per day already, the need for you to do that is not really there. If you've been starving yourself or doing some kind of intermittent fasting regime, which we don't really recommend, and so you've really got no protein in your circulation, then yeah, perhaps you do need that protein shake quickly after your workout to really kind of try and maximize your results. But if you're having frequent, regular, protein-rich meals throughout the day, you don't need to worry about quickly having a protein shake after your workout. It's not necessary, okay? And remember, when you're having your proteins, try to go for a complete protein, meaning one that's complete is including all 9 essential amino acids, okay? So if you're going for an animal kind of or dairy protein source like a whey protein shake, or you're consuming cheese or meat, chicken, fish, very likely you are having, a complete protein. You don't need to worry about it. If on the other hand you're vegetarian or you're vegan, you can still get all of the protein, all of the 9 essential amino acids that you need, but you might need to mix and match your protein sources and kind of get it all together. It can be a little bit more tricky. To really optimize your results, you do need to be consuming all 9 essential amino acids. So look at your diet, and you can Google it. You can find out how and which kind of vegan protein sources are the best, and how to kind of cover all your protein bases. So I think that's about it, guys. A lot of information there. Rewind it, watch it again. That covers how much protein you need, how to calculate how much protein you need based on your ideal body weight, what is the kind of protein target per meal, and what is the recommendations for protein timing throughout the day. So I hope that helps. Remember, if you need more useful information, check out our other videos. We cover protein and the thermic effect of food in our other videos too. If you're not sure how to structure your diet, that's exactly what our plans are for. Hope you've liked this video. Please do like and subscribe. Watch our other videos. Check us out on our other social media pages. And we'll see you in the next video. Don't be late for your appointment. Laters, guys. Bye.